Yo, it's Mo Flava. You're here for the catch-up, right? Nice one. Always good to have you back. But don't forget, the real vibe happens on 947, weekdays 9 a.m. to 12. In the meantime, kick back and enjoy more of the good stuff right here on Prime Media Plus.
You're listening to Mo Flava on 947.
People often say that the grass is not always greener on the other side. But you know what? What if it is, eh? What if it is actually much greener on the other side? There's a mate of mine that's just relocated to Cape Town via work. In fact, he went late last year, and the family, he's married, he's got kids, have now just kind of moved down as well. He's in IT and all of that stuff. So the whole family has now moved down to Cape Town with him. And now the move is finally complete. And he was in Joburg, I think, last week, to just wrap things up, etc. And I was just, wishing him well and whatever. And you know what? In my heart of hearts, I really wanted to work out for him because he's a hell of a Joburger like me. He's like so rooted here. And I'm just thinking, sure, if this was me, I mean, first of all, I would never do it. I think that's the first thing. I remember being offered a job in Durban. I think it was last year, radio gig in Durban. And I was like, nah, I think I'll pass. I'm way too rooted in Joburg. I'm way too rooted with family. I've got too much going on here to go and move anywhere else. But for some, trust me, if that offer comes and it is worth it, they're gone. So are you that person? And what is your appetite for, given an opportunity, leaving whatever city you're from, whatever area you're from, to another part of the country or even another part of the world? And would you actually leave it? Would you leave your current city, wherever you are, because you could be listening from anywhere, in the name of better opportunities? And is it something that you've actually done before? Have you experienced it? Was the grass greener on the other side? Or did you simply move to the city and then decided to come back to your origins for whatever the reason? And what does it take? What does it all come with? Yes, there's no place like home, but hey, you never know what's on the other side of the mountain, right?
947.
Of course, moving abroad is a lot more dramatic than moving to another city, for example, in South Africa, if that's where you're from and if that's where you're listening in from. Because there's an element of familiarity from a South African point of view. But the minute you go overseas, I can just imagine how much of a shock to the system that is. And not everybody gets to move to countries that are generally well developed, like, the United Kingdom or Australia or the US, or China, or, those kinds of regions. So when work or business opportunities do land on your table, are you keen on taking one that involves you relocating? And if you have, does it always work out? I mean, is it always greener on the other side?
I'm Tizi. I moved to Johannesburg in 2019. I'm originally from Pietermaritzburg, KZN. And in all honesty, I obviously do miss family, but there will never be a time where I'd ever consider moving back to Pietermaritzburg. There's absolutely nothing there, and the only thing that ever sent me back there is family.
Oh, come on. Surely there's something in Maritzburg, right? Surely. And there are a lot of people who feel that perhaps there is no place like home, but there's also no place like Joburg or even Cape Town. But also, I mean, you just disregarded a whole Durban. And you're like, not even Durban's good enough. Okay.
Hi, Mo. I think I would move based on my age and the age of my kids. Yeah, I would move. Anywhere in the world at this point. Yeah, and do me.
Hi, Mo Flava. This is Mpo from Cape Town, originally from Joburg. I moved to Cape Town, obviously temporarily, because I'm a student studying at UCT. I would say there are better opportunities because I'll be graduating from the best uni in Africa. So, yeah, and if I were to get another opportunity to move out of the country or even move permanently in Cape Town, I would take it. I mean, I'll never grow if I'm closer to my parents. So I see it as an opportunity for growth and independence.
Well, it also depends on what kind of parents you have. You know what I mean? Like, maybe your parents are like really involved in your life, so you kind of want to break out of that. You know, I mean, I'm close to my parents, and look at how I turned out. Not too shabby. Yeah. But yeah, Joburg is all I know. And I don't have the kahunas to live anywhere else. I just can't. You know, there was a lady who said she's even prepared to move with the kids. I'm already like, oh my word, those kids are going to collapse. They're going to fall apart when we move to another city. Anyway, all right. 066-3818-609. Given the chance, if you haven't had one already, how do you feel about moving to another city to follow an opportunity? And is the grass truly always greener on the other side?
947.
If you're going to move to another city, the idea is that, say, if you're moving there for work, you want to be close to work. But you also want to move into an area that is similar or better than the area that you used to live in. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to feel like you've downgraded your quality of life. And sometimes that's what comes with moving to another city for whatever opportunities that you are chasing after. And it's not just simply the idea, it's also the practical things. Listen, moving to Joburg for a lot of people is one thing, but having to deal with Joburg traffic, whew, it's a complete culture shock for a lot of people. Like, I hear so many complaints because it is bad. I mean, there's traffic at like 12:30 in the afternoon. Do you know what I mean? And traffic lights are still working and everything, but so it's obviously volumes. And for some, it's quite a culture shock depending on where you're from. So, would you leave your current city for better opportunities? And is it really always nicer on the other side?
Good morning, 947. Very appropriate topic. I'm on my way to the Swiss embassy as we speak to begin marriage preparations to move there permanently. I'm in good spirits, but it's definitely tough realizing that you have to leave the country for good. But yeah, that's my little nugget.
No, man. No. I don't want to hear nuggets like that. Huh? Where you going, madam? Come on, baby girl, stay with us. Huh? You can't. Where you going? You think Switzerland is better than we are? Huh? You think that Swiss chocolate is really like Swiss chocolate? Don't go, man. Anyway, look, good luck. Good luck. I hope it goes well. Sincerely, I hope it does. And is there really anything as permanent in life?
Hi, Mo Flava. This is Mpo from Cape Town, originally from Joburg.
Now, hang on, I'll play that one. Here's another one.
Good morning, 94.7. I've lived in various countries. We were in Johannesburg years ago. We then moved to Belgium, to Prague, to Germany, to the south of Ireland, and then we went to Nigeria. My husband then went to Myanmar. We were in Bangkok. And guess where we are? We're back in Joburg. No place like home.
No place like home. But you know what I love? Is that you probably learned so much. It doesn't get more global than what you've experienced, eh? Like, I'm actually jealous thinking of like how much you've learned from other countries, because if there's one thing that traveling or living in other parts of the world, even the country, does teach you, it's things that you didn't know about. So I'm sure you've had a wealth of knowledge just traveling all over the place.
Hey Mo, so in 2018 my husband received a offer to move to Nelspruit, and so we did because the offer was really good, because at that time he was traveling up and down between Johannesburg and Nelspruit, and we had a young baby at the time, so he was missing out on quite a few milestones. And fortunately I was able to find myself a job there, and we moved and we lived there for 4 years. It was a great 4 years. It's a very different lifestyle, very small town syndrome though. So I mean, obviously it depends where you live, but there's pros and cons to wherever you live. And, obviously we had COVID hit us in 2020 and things, we managed to stay afloat for quite a while, but eventually, the vicious cycle just started hitting, and financially it just didn't make sense to stay there anymore. So we had to move back to the rat race, and we have lived back in Johannesburg since 2022. But yeah, I think if there's an offer and it's worth it, anyone should give that a bash.
Yeah, sure. Nelspruit, very different to Joburg. Much, much smaller, much calmer. This rat race, sometimes I wonder, is it all worth it? Do you know what I mean? Because it comes with so much anxiety and, it is stressful living in big cities like Joburg and, the different CBDs and all the economic hubs that are in and around it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's, and when you go to a place like Nelspruit, even for a week, you literally feel the difference. Everything is so much calmer. Huh? But yeah, I think we're addicted to the rat race. I think that's the thing about it.
947